Thank you.
Thank you. Senator Shaheen.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. And thank you, Mr. Secretary, for being here this morning and for the work that you and everyone at the Department of Health and Human Services does to promote the health care of the people of this country. I was stunned, as I'm sure all of us were, by the news on Monday when we saw the draft opinion leaked from the Supreme Court that proposed eliminating access to safe and legal abortions for women and for health care that goes along with that. I think it's stunning, and this is a statistic that I found incomprehensible, that the United States could become one of only 25 countries in the world that would totally ban abortion. And if this decision is correct, and this is what the court decides, it would leave up to the states decisions about women's reproductive freedom. That presents challenges in states like mine, New Hampshire, where we have seen funding denied to family planning centers on the front lines of these efforts, even though it's funding that does not support performing abortions. But these family planning centers provide health care to thousands of women in New Hampshire. We appreciated your visit up to see how Title X is working to keep doors open for family planning services for thousands of women in the Granite State. So I'm very concerned about what's going to happen, and I wonder if you could update us on the work of Health and Human Services Reproductive Health Care Access Task Force.
Senator, thank you very much. We are going to double down on the effort to make sure that the legal rights of all Americans, women to access the care that they're entitled to, continues forward. I yesterday had an opportunity to address a number of the representatives of many of the insurance plans, health insurance plans in America, and made it very clear that we intend to continue to enforce the law. We have heard complaints that some women are not being provided with access to the care that they're entitled to through their insurance plans. We will continue to do that. We will continue to support the efforts, family planning efforts that are available through Title X. We will also make it clear what the law requires of anyone who accepts federal funding through Medicare or Medicaid to provide services to all Americans without discrimination. As I said, we're going to double down and make sure that no one goes without the care that they're entitled to.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Another crisis that New Hampshire and so many other states in the country are dealing with is the substance use disorder epidemic, and we've seen how the COVID pandemic has exacerbated that. In New Hampshire, we're still in the middle of this crisis, and the state opioid response grants have really been a vital source of funding for our state to provide treatment that people need. So as you work to administer those grants this year, will you commit to working with me and with other members of New Hampshire's delegation to ensure that changes in a state's ranking in opioid overdose deaths don't result in large-scale reductions in funding? One of the things that, and I should preface that with saying, one of the things that we've seen in New Hampshire is that our overdose deaths have leveled out to some extent because we've gotten so good at using Narcan and providing Narcan to local police departments and firefighters so that they can respond when someone has overdosed. But that doesn't mean the underlying problem isn't there.
Senator, first, thank you for keeping this issue of the SOAR grants top of mind to make sure that no state, no community suffers a cliff in the funding that they need to continue to provide service to those who are suffering from drug use. We will continue to work with you. We have provided additional resources. The budget proposes $475 million above the previous fiscal year because we understand how important it is. But I have no doubt that you will continue to insist that we do this the right way and that no one loses the funding they need.
Well, thank you. I know that's of interest to others on this subcommittee, so thank you very much. A final question has to do with the Affordable Care Act premium relief, which one of the very positive aspects of the American Rescue Plan was the premium tax credits that extended for 2 years to help provide coverage for people who can't afford the cost of health care. Those provisions are set to expire at the end of this year. Can you talk about what the plans are to ensure that we don't see a number of people kicked off of the Affordable Care Act insurance because those premium tax credits are expiring?
Senator, thank you for what you and your colleagues did to make that possible. As a result, today more Americans have access to health care. They have insurance, health insurance, than ever at any point in our country's history, a greater number. And part of that is the 14.5 million Americans who received their coverage through the Affordable Care Act marketplace. That came because you made it possible for us to avoid the cliff that some families faced when it came to the cost of coverage. By providing those subsidies, it made it very affordable, and in some cases for some families so affordable that they were finding that they were paying $10 or less per month for their monthly premiums. And as I always try to say, go try to see a movie in America for less than $10 a month for one movie, not for a whole month. And so we will continue to work with you because it has clearly proven itself successful to make sure Americans can afford to have their health insurance coverage.
Can I just ask one follow-up?
Yes,
Madam Chair. So when you say you'll continue to work with us, should we expect a proposal coming from the administration to extend those premium tax credits or to look at other ways to provide help to people who need help with the cost of health insurance?
The President's made it very clear we want to see those premium tax credits extended. In the President's proposals, Build Back Better proposals, and others, we have talked about how we can continue to expand access to health care and reduce costs, and we will continue to work with you.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Senator